Hi everyone, my name is Eric Scherter and I'm the product manager for the Static Site Editor group, which is part of the create stage of the DevOps lifecycle here at GitLab. And I want to talk to you today about some of the great work we have planned for the 13.5 milestone. I'll link to the planning issue here, which has a list of everything we intend to deliver. We have some really nice iterations on the Static Site Editor feature set, as well as a few new features that we're looking to introduce. We'll be doing some continued work on the GitLab handbook as we look to migrate it towards Frontman as a replacement for the static site generator. And we've also got some work slated for the GitLab documentation site. So I want to highlight a few things specifically with the static site editor though. If you have any other questions or feedback related to any of these issues though, they're all linked here and I would love to hear it. Now, the first one I want to highlight is one that you've heard me talk about before, the ability to upload an image directly to the static site editor and use that in your document. So we built this out and we have it working mostly behind a feature flag right now, but there was one last thing that we identified as a blocker for rolling this out and marking it as complete, and that was the ability to configure where in the project that uploaded asset gets stored once you submit the MR. So the good news is that in 13.4 we have introduced a configuration file, and right now it actually doesn't have any valid values that we pass into the editor, but the architecture is now in place for us to introduce a configuration path for images and close out this issue for configuring the destination path for image uploads. So users will be able to very easily configure the static site editor exactly how they need to match their project architecture. And along with that, we'll actually also be able to close out this other issue, which is within the static site editor, it can't currently render any images that are linked with relative URLs. So it only will show absolute links to images that are already hosted somewhere. And in the process of architecting this, we've actually added the ability to render images that are linked with relative URLs within the project itself. The next one we intend to ship in 13.5 is one I've talked about before, but the ability to embed a YouTube video using the static site editor. This just got reprioritized as we found some more important formatting errors that and bugs that were related to the handbook rollout as the static site editor became available across the entire GitLab handbook. But we're looking to ship this in 13.5, and really what this is just it's going to be a button in the formatting bar that allows you to paste just a YouTube link, and then we'll generate the properly formatted iframe, wrapper, and figure class so that within the context of the handbook, you have a lot less code to copy and paste or remember how it should be formatted. So this would be a really nice convenience. The handbook makes great use of YouTube video links and embeds, and this will just ensure that everything's formatted perfectly, and you just have to paste the video link in. And the last thing I want to talk about is, again, based on some feedback from our rollout to the handbook, we've been thinking a lot about the publishing flow for edits made from the static site editor. And one of the things we've done is tried to streamline it and make it as quick as possible. But what we have done is we've removed some critical steps in providing context and transparency to your edits. So we're going to introduce the ability to provide an optional title and description with your changes as you create a merge request from the static site editor. And this would allow you to follow best practices and provide that detail for your merge request right from the static site editor rather than having to follow the link and go back over to the merge request after it's been created and edit it there. So we're really looking forward to streamlining the process and making it so that the static site editor can be a really viable part of the workflow here at GitLab, where this is something we take very seriously as far as providing context within the changes we make to the handbook. And that's about all I had to cover. As I mentioned, you can see all the work we're looking to ship in 13.5 in our planning issue, which is linked in the video description, and I look forward to seeing you in the next release. Thank you.